In 1545, one superpower controlled 80% of Europe's silver and a quarter of the world's supply. So how did that same empire declare bankruptcy 5 times in a single century? At the dawn of the 16th century, Spain wasn't just a kingdom, it was the center of the world. Massive treasure fleets from the Americas crossed the Atlantic, delivering hundreds of tons of precious metal to the royal vaults each year. From the mountain city of Potosi, high in the Andes, came what locals called the mountain that eats men, Cerro Rico, a mountain that didn't grow crops or trees, it bled silver. Over 45,000 tons of pure silver were extracted, enough to cover all of Europe in shining metal. With that unimaginable wealth, Spain became the richest empire on earth. People said, God rules in heaven and Spain rules the earth. But history is never kind to those who think they're immortal, because what would ultimately destroy Spain wasn't war, it was silver itself. When Spanish galleons sailed across the Atlantic, what they brought back wasn't just treasure, it was illusion. In 1545, deep in the Andes, at over 13,000 feet, Spanish conquistadores struck the richest vein of silver in human history, Cerro Rico, the rich mountain. The indigenous called it the Mountain of the Devil, because millions would die mining its depths. For more than a century, rivers of silver flowed from Potosi to Seville, then spread across Europe, the Americas, and Asia. By the late 1500s, Spain controlled 85% of the world's silver supply, and their coin, the peso de ocho, the piece of 8, became the world's first truly global currency. Even the Ming dynasty in China demanded taxes be paid in it. The world believed that wealth meant power. But Spain's silver wasn't a blessing, it was a beautiful poison. At first, the flood of silver made Spain prosperous. But money only has value when it's scarce, and Spain destroyed that scarcity with its own success. As silver poured in, the money supply exploded, while production and trade didn't grow to match it, a perfect formula for inflation. Throughout the 16th century, prices in Europe quadrupled, a shock now known as the price revolution. Silver lost value with every ship that arrived, and even gold began to sink with it, since both metals were tied together in trade and currency. The value of gold and silver didn't come from the metal itself, but from the belief that it was rare and worth holding. And when people began to believe that silver was everywhere, then silver, like belief, became worthless. Instead of investing their fortune into industry and commerce, Spain poured its silver into wars and faith. Cathedrals rose higher, fleets sailed farther, and armies marched for glory and God. But factories stood empty, and merchants went elsewhere. Spain was exporting resources while importing value, growing rich while everyone else learned how to make things. By the early 1600s, Madrid had silver but no food, churches but no workshops, treasures but no economy. Prices soared, the poor starved, and the crown drowned in debt. Between 1557 and 1666, Spain declared bankruptcy 5 times, each time printing more money, borrowing more gold, and losing a little more trust. Meanwhile, rivals like England and the Netherlands used Spain's silver to build banks, industries, and global trade, new empires forged from Spain's own mistakes. A historian once wrote, "Potosi was not a mine of silver, it was the grave of Spanish reason." And it was true. When silver lost its value, faith lost its meaning. And when faith dies, no empire survives. Spain once believed silver was endless, just as we believe money can be printed forever. But history doesn't punish poverty, it punishes arrogance. No empire collapses for running out of gold, only when it runs out of trust. And once trust is broken, no treasure on earth can ever buy it back.